If you're reading my shirt, it says, "My broom broke, so now I drive a Jeep." So I'm doing this video for my Book of Shadows blog, and let me take the camera this way. You can see I'm currently writing it. A lot of people have different opinions on what a Book of Shadows actually is. Some witches keep a leather-bound journal where they write all of their thoughts in it. If you have poetry, art, if you write spells, recipes, like a lot of kitchen witches have special ingredients that they add to cookies for, say they need some financial aid, or everybody in their house is kind of hostile and angry and they're just trying to calm everybody down. Those are things that you keep in a Book of Shadows. If you're reading my blog, you probably already know that, but in case you're a blooming idiot, just kind of a little bit of background. Book of Shadows are generally argued about on whether their origin came when the founder of Wicca was around in the 40s, or if it's something that's been passed down in witchcraft from generation to generation. I think it started out as a medical book because a lot of the people back in the 1600s who were tried as witches were actually women who were practitioners of medicine, and they helped out doctors. Back then there wasn't a lot of doctors around. They traveled house to house. Sometimes you didn't have a doctor but you had a cold, and there was a lady in the village who gave you like a lavender tea to help you sleep, or something that had eucalyptus in it to clear your sinuses. That's my theory. I have no proof of it. I'm just thinking that this is like a recipe book, and that's what it started out as. My Book of Shadows has far outgrown the book that it used to be. When I was in high school and I first got started, it was a little blue book with a fairy on it, and I still have some pages out of it that I just took notes on when I was randomly at libraries and I pulled books that were interesting. I wrote everything down. Now it has grown into 3 binders, and they are ugh, yeah. So this first one is actually the one that I decorated, and it's, just my pretty little inside of it. And I'm gonna actually grab the camera and swap it around, so don't puke. And then there's the pages from some of the original stuff. This is stuff that I've gathered. These pages like this, they've either come from the Magic Mailbox or I picked them up at a store. And I'm sure you've seen them on my blog if you scroll down anywhere. This is kind of just the beginning of it. It's the elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. The intro. This is some Wiccan stuff. I don't personally consider myself Wiccan. I consider myself a witch. But this is a lot of stuff that the Wiccans follow. The witch's rune. Goddesses, alphabets. These are double-sided. I should kind of, and these, like, I have tabs on them to separate page to page. The next section, of course, has the full moon names and holidays in it. The names for all the moons, like October is the snow moon. It's tonight, just in case you didn't know that. Flip through here. Different things on Letha, which I now actually have separate books for. I need to get back into doing those blogs. I'm really sorry. I'm being a total slacker, but when it's nice out, I like to work on my Jeeps, and I just bought a new 72, so I'm pretty excited about that. Collars, herbal first aid kits, medical terms. There's another page from my original book. When you run out of black ink and colored's all you got, you print out your colored paper and color. Some just snap little, this is from the Magic Mailbox. This is from a treasure hunt that I did at, like, it's hard to tell. I was at one of the caverns that are locally. Stones. I have a lot of laminated stuff. Like, these are from the crystal wand. This is probably from somewhere in Gettysburg that sold totem rocks. And if you recognize these, they're from the magic mailbox, the little symbol there. All of the magical, mystical stone care and what the stone is and what it's commonly used for. As you can see, I have a laminator and I am not afraid to use it. I have pages and pages of rocks and preparing your candles, herbal references. This one's like aloe. It's a feminine. It's ruled by the moon. Its element is water, kind of thing there. And it just kind of goes on for a while. How to prepare a compress, make it a cream, a decoction, infused, all those massage oils. What a tincture is, how to make one, a tonic wine. Wine sounds good right now. Herbal vinegars. First aid kit, like what you can use each herb for. This one's not very big. I really like witch hazel. It's a really good cleansing agent. This is some more stuff from the magic mailbox. As you guys know, I'm kind of obsessing. These I got in Salem, Massachusetts, and I am in love. It's easy herb growing, and these are just some common kitchen herbs. Homeopathy remedies. So, medical terms. Then the next thing is aromatherapy, astral projection. Sorry, my mouth just doesn't want to form words today. Lucid dreaming and chakras. A difference in essential oils and how they're made. And this little pamphlet here is also from the magic mailbox. As you can see, I've got the letter from Morgan in here. Mist of Avalon. Essential oils, and this is another one from Salem. Something I've printed out. Magic mailbox. These are a lot of, I found these at Walmart. These are the essential oils they sell there, and it actually gives you traditional uses, and that's why I saved them. It's like lemongrass has a light citrus aroma derived from its long, slender grass-like leaves. Its scent is uplifting and refreshing. The sweet lemony aroma is steam distilled from aromatic tropical grasses. Eucalyptus, obviously, is a versatile oil. You can use it for cool and heating, cooling in warm weather and heating in cool weather. Its aroma is produced, just how it's produced, what it's used for, traditional uses of it. Then this is how to make a basic rose oil infusion. Astral projection, which is something that I have always been fairly interested in. How you can make flying ointments. I know I have, you can actually go on the Ink Goddess Creations and you can buy a flying ointment. I don't know if you know that or not, but I have it. It smells amazing. The Chakras Guide from the Magic Mailbox. The little cards from the Magic Mailbox, the printouts that I had. This is from the Magic Mailbox, but this big printout here is from Salem, Massachusetts, where they did the 1692 witch trials. Zen meditation. Hand reflexology. Celtic knotwork. I don't have a lot on knotwork. I actually did that knot myself. I was super proud when it stayed. It's a heart knot, if you didn't recognize it. Spells. There's actually spells in my book. Go there. This is stuff that I've had since I was like 14. This is from the Magic Mailbox. These are, as you can see, this one on the front here is actually one of the very first spells I ever used, and it I kick myself in the ass for it every day. Herbal Incense Spell Powder. That one and this one are both from the Magic Mailbox. These came with those neat little froggy pendants that you can buy at various places. More from the Magic Mailbox. The crystal wand. More Magic Mailbox. I printed this out online for a friend. She was interested in witches bottles, and of course anytime I print something out for a friend, I print it out myself and stick it in this book, so if they ever call me up and they're like, hey, that spell, blah 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 blah, I can have a reference sheet. This is stuff that I've had since I was like 14, y'all. Anything printed like that, it's been a while. It was printed on a very, very old printer. This is some parchment paper that I practice with a quill on occasion. Magical places. I created this part of the book when Morgan with the Magic Mailbox did the energy vortexes, and as you can see, there it is, energy vortexes. Yes, I see that. Do you know what you're barking at? Do you know what you're barking at? No? And then in the back of this one has some artwork. Just random things that I drew. Ugh. Let's get this switched around. I'm sure you really love looking at the inside of my palm. And for those of you on YouTube that are like, just shut up and like, show us already. Bite me. I've seen you comment on people's Facebook. That's horrible. If you don't want to listen to me talk, go to somebody else's YouTube page. Dina! Here. They don't know what they're barking at, but they're annoying me, so here you go. Nice look at my yard. Oh, and I shut it. Sorry. So, the second book, which I kind of started decorating, but not much, is Divination. Bam! And it obviously has divination in it, and basically this one has decoration because it's part of this one. And to make room for all the new stuff that I've added, I've had to like separate this binder into two separate spots. And I use this a lot, like tarot cards, all that stuff. I use this a lot. So I separated it. Just hold it like this. Dowsing rods. This one's from the crystal wand. Anything that you see printed out on white paper that's basically stuff that I've had since, I've said it 100 times since I was a kid. This is from Salem. It's on numerology. The new page from October's Magic Mailbox and Scrying. I told you I was going to put it in my book. Didn't take me long, did it? There's my printouts on Scrying, Alchemy, Astrology. This is my birth chart. I have a program for that. I did not create that on my own. I have this big, huge, the only astrology book you'll ever need. It has a disc in it. You put the disc in your computer, you download the program, you type in your birth date. I actually have my original birth certificate, so I know that I was born at 5:01 p.m. So I type in, you know, September 29th, 1986, 5:01 p.m. And it actually, the sun was here, 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 Jupiter was here, here, you know, those such things. Astrology Made Easy, also from Salem. I love all my little keepsakes from Salem. These little postcards are also from Salem. One is The Traveler. It's African astrology, which is something that I'd never seen before, but I thought was pretty neat. It's from September 4th to October 3rd. And then, of course, Libra. Palmistry, which is something I've been trying to get into. I have a little palm that, like, every now and then it falls over, but I don't really have a whole lot on palmistry. That would be a good, maybe we can throw that idea to Morgan. Hey Morgan! No. Runes, which I studied a lot when I was in school and I was pretty decent with them, but not so much anymore. Printout from the Crystal Wand because I purchased a couple stone runes from them. There's another printout from the crystal wand that's way, way easier to read than the one that I have. Witch's runes, which I'm in love with these things. There's about, I have a set of them, and I think there's like 11 or 13, and I bought onyx ones or something like that, but then I made some out of marbles and nail polish because I'm creative like that. And then of course my tarot cards. And that card, whoops, is the box of one of my favorite decks. I find it, I struggle terribly, especially when I was in Salem, to allow someone else to do a divination or fortune telling for me. I don't know if any of you have this in common. This video is taking forever, but my friend Jennifer and I were walking through a fairly overly advertised store. I won't name any names. There are two there like that. The employees didn't seem very friendly, and there was a lady in the back doing palm readings, tarot readings, whatever. There was a girl back there with her, and I feel like if you're doing my fortune telling or if you're divining something for me, that is a very private matter. I don't want everyone walking in the store to hear our conversation. This is my business. And they were set up in the back with just a curtain over them, talking very loudly, which irks me because, like I said, to me that's a private matter, about this lady's pregnancy and if she thought she was going to have a girl or a boy, and they were basically wanting to know the outcome of the pregnancy. And the person doing the divination asked the father if he was a mechanic. She could just tell he was a mechanic. That's what she read from him. And I laughed because I looked at the boy, and he in no way, shape, or form had ever been that dirty in his entire life. Okay, mechanic, I could see maybe working on the oil-filled well rigs, or if his hands were calloused. This kid was clean, okay? And he's kind of sitting in the opening of the curtain, so you could see him, but you couldn't see her. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And Jennifer kind of grabbed me and steered me into another direction. She's like, you're going to get us thrown out. And I'm like, I don't care, that woman's fake. And he said, no, I'm a cashier. And she's like, yeah, you work with mechanics. No, lady. When you're a cashier, you push buttons on a computer, you put money in the machine, you take money out of the machine, and you give it to the customer. Sometimes you even use a scanner and you ring things up. When that machine breaks, you are not the person to repair it. So it just, a lot of people who do things like that come off very fake to me. If you're a genuine fortune teller, if you're a genuine palm reader, I trust Jennifer. Jennifer does a wonderful job. She does oracle cards, tarot cards. She's working on learning to scry, and I'm like super impressed with her skills because she just blows my mind. Her boyfriend Matt is excellent with runes, and so it's not like every single person that does divination and tarot cards and all that comes off to me as fake. But I'm very skeptical when it comes to witches who practice in the arts of divinations. I don't know why, I'm just like, you're stupid. It's terrible. I know it's terrible, but I've had a lot of bad experiences. And a lot of areas that I tour that are historic and they have a lot of hauntings and all that. You have a lot of for-profit, very not genuine fortune tellers. And so it kind of gives the people who are good at it, who don't do it for a living, a bad name. So if you do it, no offense to you at all. At all. None meant at all. I totally get. It's another card from Tarot Tasseography. This is something that I learned to do in my early 20s. A friend named Debbie taught me, her and her mom. And they're always better at it than me because I struggle to see shapes. I struggle. And then there's just a little bit on tasseography, possible interpretations. I actually got a dream book for Christmas, and she one year got me a teacup, which I really like my teacup. It is super cute. Maybe one day I'll show it to you. I actually printed this stuff out. All the neat little symbols. I printed that out of a doctor's scheduling book. Like I copied it. And then this third book, the one that says Bill's really big on the front of it. It's all my favorite little witchy fantasy things. And by that I mean, okay, the beginning of this is mean. My witchy fantasy things. I'm gonna flip the camera again. The Wiccan laws, like this is actual Wiccan. It's the creed, definitions that they use, Salem tragedy and burning times. Of course, that is not in any way, shape, or form a witchy fantasy thing. That's history, terrible history. That went on from the 14 to the 1700s, and it was absolutely terrifying for women who practiced medicine. This is the original part of this book. It's what I call the fantasy. This myths and creatures of magic. So the Anku, oh gosh, there's like a huge, I mean, this goes on forever. Werewolves, ghosts, spirits, familiars, dragons, death hounds, vampires, I mean, just Aka, harpies, mermaids, zombies, you name it, it's in there. And then demons, which are not very fantasy, but the names of them, Abadel, Abaddon, Abigor, you know, just Barbados, the shapes that they take, the sin that they perpetuate, just things like that. And then this one here is the Wild Hunt. So as you can see, the Book of Shadows can be whatever you want it to be. As you can see, I have like 3. You can put anything you want in there. If you are a person who does a lot of astral projection or dream walking, you use your Book of Shadows to keep track of what you see, the things that you observe. Just, I don't want anyone to think that this is one specific thing. This book is your personal walk. This is how you keep track of everything. Your quick reference. I mean, let me elaborate. Your quick reference. Because it's huge, and how could you ever possibly think that that is quick? My Book of Shadows has crap in it from all of these books. Herbs, mushrooms, crystals, tarot cards, palmistry, my teacup, runes, dreams, birthdays, my Book of Shadows goes there. All of these little study books, all of these little spell books, my calendars, superstitions, holidays, artwork. You get it. Quick reference. Anyways, so my challenge to you, and sometimes I do like a craft thing. I guess this will be like your craft thing, is to, if you haven't already, start your Book of Shadows. If you have already, try and get it organized to where it works with you. If you're interested in being a kitchen witch, focus your Book of Shadows around herbal remedies. If you're interested in the healing part, herbal remedies is good. But you could also go into tarot, and if you can see what's happened in the past and what could happen in the future, you know better what to direct your healing energy towards. Practice stones, aromatherapy, that's a really good part in healing. Chakras, because if your chakras are out of alignment, it can cause problems. If you want to be a divination witch, then focus your book of shadows around a divination witch. Mine is so big because I cannot pick a path. I'm one of those people who feel knowledge is power. I'm one of those people who I really want to teach others, but I don't know how. And I'm one of those people who want to know a little bit about everything because I have this vast majority of friends who are into everything that I want to be able to have an educated conversation with something that doesn't include President Trump's latest whatever, or Ed Sheeran and his thoughts on Taylor Swift, or whatever the media is blasting us with. I want to have a meaningful conversation with my peers, with my friends, with my coworkers that don't involve politics, football games, and celebrities, because let's face it, small-minded people talk about people, and big-minded people talk about ideas. Have a good day.